Join us live inside the 880 KRVN headquarters for today's Morning Roundup. Over the course of the next 30 minutes, KRVN broadcasters will share the latest in weather, markets, and agriculture news. Join us this morning for topics and guests, including Clay Patton on weather and markets, Jayson Jorgensen with sports, Mark Gold with Top Third Ag on the grain markets, Jerry Stowell with country futures on the livestock markets, and Alex Makovicka with agriculture news. Let's head inside the KRVN studios, joining Clay Patton with the latest in weather.
Well, thank you for being able to join us here this morning. And hey, if you're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, we've got a live stream going of your morning roundup, getting you started for your day right here from the control booth, from the control studios, from Master Control here at KRVN. So you can check it out there. Head on over to the Facebook page. Looking at the weather, though, we got a horseshoe of cold air wrapping around southwest through southeast Nebraska and covering the northern tiers of Kansas County, single digits back to near zero here for many of those areas. Central Nebraska, though, 13 in Holdridge, 19 right now in Broken Bow. We're going to join the Rural Radio Network coming up here in 2 minutes.
It is classic time. Hi, guys. This is Renette. I've been inviting you for the last couple weeks to make sure you've got the Classic on your calendar. Well, it's time. The Classic kicks off Saturday, the 18th of February. We've talked about cattle shows are on Wednesday, the 22nd. They start at 9. Thursday, the 23rd. Thursday, the 23rd at 11 o'clock. You'll want to make sure you're at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds. Sales start promptly at 11. We've got a great lineup. All the breeds sell. That commercial heifer pen of 5 sale, Supreme Row, all happening on Thursday, the 23rd at the Classic. Then we'll roll into our junior event, Friday, the 24th. Juniors get checked in. Juniors, we've got some great demos in the show ring for you. A burger bash at 6 o'clock, followed by that prospect steer and heifer sale. Then we'll end the Classic with the junior show. Great commercial trade show and more happening at the Classic, February 18th through the 26th.
The Grain Marketing Podcast, Grain IQ, can help you stay profitable. In Season 1, guests like Ed Usset will help you make a plan that works for your operation.
There is no one marketing plan in grains. There are two. You have to, again, divide this world between pre-harvest marketing and post-harvest marketing. They're radically different.
Subscribe and listen to Grain IQ on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and online at ruralradionetwork.com. Grain IQ, a grain marketing podcast supported by the Nebraska Soybean Board.
Now in their 40th year, Ward Labs continues to build on the mission of Doctors Ray and Nick Ward, guiding producers today to feed the world tomorrow. For fast and accurate soil, water, plant, fertilizer, and feed testing results, trust Ward Laboratories. Testing results today help you make farming and feeding decisions tomorrow. Consultants are on staff to help you understand your results. Ask your retailer or crop consultant to submit your soil samples to Ward Laboratories, or to submit samples yourself, visit wardlab.com.
Good morning, Clay Patton on the Rural Radio Network, and it's time to take a look at the factors influencing the commodity trade today. On the line with us from Chicago is Mark Gold with Top Third Ag Marketing. Good morning, Mark.
Well, good morning. Overnight, we had March corn up 0.75 cents, 6.76 3/4. March wheat down 2 cents at 7.63, and March beans up 3.5 cents at 15.30. We did have a new sale this morning, 121,000 metric tons of corn to unknown. The markets will be closed Monday for the President's holiday. Looking at today's markets, we've got crude oil currently down $3 a barrel at 75.50. That may weigh on the bean oil. Bean oil was down about 50 ticks overnight. Could be a little bit worse than that here this morning. But the meal was back up again, up 420, which helped rally the beans a little bit out here. We've got heavy snows coming next week in the northern plains. I don't think that'll hurt anything. It's still awful early up there. There is some talk about frost in Argentina. They're talking about some scattered, isolated patches here and there. From what I can see from the temps, I don't see it getting that cold, but that's in the news here this morning. The dollar is very strong. It's up 40 ticks, back over 104 for the first time in quite some time. The Dow looks to open 100 lower, and bonds are about another half cent lower. Silver's down 40 cents, gold's down 14. So I would say the main thrust here today will be a risk-off kind of day.
And that again is Mark Goldwood, Top Third Ag Marketing. Always learn more at topthird.com. Remember, it's topthird.com, the website to visit. Do remember, though, that trading futures and options involve risk of loss, may not be suitable for all investors. Do consider these a risk before investing. EPA January data shows D4 biodiesel credits were down from 585 to 522 million.
If money talks, this year's cashback dividend from Farm Credit Services of America has a lot to say. We've shared earnings for 19 consecutive years. And once again, this year's payout is a full 1% of each customer's eligible financing. 1%. That adds up to $341 million shared this year and $2.9 billion since 2004. That's the power of ownership. Terms apply. Visit fcsamerica.com for details.
I'm Brian. At 58, doctors told me I had the heart of a 37-year-old man. They told me that after my heart transplant surgery. If you're a smoker, here are some tips in case that happens to you. First, you have to quit smoking before you can get on a list for a transplant. So quit now. And never feel sorry for yourself. I don't. I only feel sorry for that 37-year-old man.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Clay Patton back on the Rural Radio Network. Let's head on over now and let's check in with Jerry Stowell, Country Futures in Frankfort, Kansas, for the latest factors influencing the livestock trade today. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Clay. Weakness on the outside. S&P's down 21. Dollar index up 52 at 104.31. Crude oil down sharply, down $2.62 a barrel at 75.88. Now futures 119 lower. Last night's lean hog index was up 37 at 73.72. That pork cutout value took a nice jump last night, 83.06 up 212. Just call hogs mixed, possibly a little easier when we open up here at 8:30. Cattle complex, latest feeder index 183.06 down 1. Choice beef cutout value up 388 at 279.55, and that compared to that noon print at 279.53. Still slow in the south as far as cash fed trade. Hopefully we will get going today sometime here, and expectations are high. It'll be in that 162 area, and with an outside chance of 163, definitely a higher trend. And we've seen that firmer trend this week so far in the north. Nebraska reported sales yesterday were on 132 head, in a range of 159.50 to 161.50 and 256 in the meat. And there was even late trade that didn't get reported as high as 257 in the meat. And active trade here this morning, we hear in Iowa at that 257 area. So we'll call futures mixed to maybe a little firmer here when we open up here off this stronger cash fed feeling here.
And that again is Jerry Stowell with Country Futures in Frankfort, Kansas. You can always learn more at their website. That's countryfutures.com. Again, it's countryfutures.com. Looking over at your estimated cattle slaughter for a Friday, 121,000 head. Saturday estimate, 22,000. Hog slaughter for a Friday, 479,000 head. Saturday, 99,000.
Got to use futures and options. And that's all about pre-harvest sales. I've tried that. Aren't all grain marketing companies the same?
This is Jeff Peterson with Heartland Farm Partners. We understand your involvement with marketing advisors may have led you to assume all companies market grain the same. At Heartland Farm Partners, our experience has revealed two of the most common fears in marketing. Number one, FOMO, the fear of missing out on higher prices once you sell your grain. And number two, the fear of not producing a crop. Our strategies at Heartland Farm Partners are designed to be flexible to calm those fears. With a proven track record that incorporates managing futures, basis, and carry, your marketing plan can be used in either the cash or futures markets and works whether you like to sell the crop before you produce it or wait to sell until after harvest. To get started, visit heartlandfarmpartners.com to sign up for our free daily commentary delivered to you by text or email.
And it's 8:16 here this morning. If you're joining us on Facebook, good morning. As we have our morning roundup, already halfway through it, We're burning right through the morning show on KRVN as well. Your check of the factors influencing the commodity trade were brought to you this morning by Ward Laboratories and Ag Excel of Kearney, along with Grain IQ, a grain marketing podcast supported by the Nebraska Soybean Board. If you want to learn more about Grain IQ, make sure you check them out on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, and of course at our very own ruralradionetwork.com. It's Grain IQ, again supported by the Nebraska Soybean Board. Well, we're going to keep you updated and informed here this morning. Let's check in next with Jayson Jorgensen for the latest in sports.
Hi, everyone. Adam Marshall with 2 upcoming online auctions. March 14th is our large online no-reserve equipment auction. This auction will feature equipment from the Dakey estate, including a 2011 John Deere 9670 combine, a 2004 John Deere 8220 mechanical front tractor, and a John Deere 4560 tractor, plus many other items. Call to consign. Then, April 4th is an online auction for farm and construction toys. Call to consign for this auction. We are accepting items now. Learn more about these selling opportunities at marshallbid.com.
Still in lands unknown, calling the greatest games of the Loper season, it's Jayson Jorgensen with a sports update.
Day 1 of the state high school wrestling tournament is in the books. In Class A, Millard South has the lead, while Norfolk is second. In Class B, Scott has grabbed the lead with 67 points. Bennington is second. Cozad sits in 5th place right now with 36.5 points. In Class C, Broken Bow has the lead with 48 points. Fillmore Central is second with 47. And in Class D, Aquinas has the lead while Mullen is in second place. Taking a look at the girls' team standings, South Sioux City leads away with 50 points. Grand Island is setting third with 41. Second day action starts this morning from Omaha. We will have reports for you again on 93.1 The River, 880 KRVN, and Cammy Country. Redshirt junior forward Shyla McCool made a driving left-handed layup with 4 seconds to go to help 10th-ranked UNK work their way past Missouri Southern last night in Missouri, 58-56. Reigning MIAA Player of the Year Lacey Stokes had a chance to force overtime, but her 14-footer went awry. The Lopers win for the 12th time in a row, with 6 of those games and wins coming by 5 points or less. UNK also reached 25 wins in the season for the 10th time in school history. In the men's game last night, Missouri Southern hit 17 three-pointers to beat the Lopers 86-59. Both Loper squads are on the road at Pittsburgh State on Saturday afternoon. Game times at 1:30 and 3:30. You can hear those games on 93.1 The River and 106.9 in Kearney. The Husker baseball team begins the season in California tonight against San Diego. Game 1 of the 4-game series is at 8. You can hear the game on 880 KRVN and 106.9 in Kearney and 98.5 in Grand Island. Sub-district basketball action tonight. The C211 sub-final from Southern Valley features the Eagles against North Platte St. Pat's. Game is an early one at 4. We will bring it to you on the river. In action last night, Ord won the C110. The C111 went to Gothenburg over Broken Bow, 57-31. The C112 saw Bridgeport move past Chase County. The C29 was Amherst over Wood River. The D18 saw St. Cecilia knock out Blue Hill. And at the D19, Centura was a 10-point winner over Ravenna. At the D110, Alma was a 53-46 winner over Arapahoe. And Maywood Hayes Center, they beat Cambridge by 4 to claim the D111. At the D27, Pleasanton outscored Sand Hills Thedford 71-56. And at the D28, Overton was able to grind it out against Wilcox Hildreth 35-33. The D29 saw Medicine Valley clip Juanita Palisade 56-51. In regular season boys action last night, Alliance, they were 63-53 winners over Lexington. That is a look at sports. For more, you can check that out anytime at krvn.com. I'm Jayson Jorgensen.
Purple Wave Auction is the trusted no-reserve equipment auction that specializes in the sale of farm, construction, and transport equipment. They provide the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell used equipment and vehicles for over 2 decades. But what makes them different? Trey Sharp, Texas District Director.
What makes us different is that personal side of it. We're a big company that operates like a small company, and in the way that we give that personal touch.
Purple Wave Auction, straight, simple, sold.
Attention land buyers, opportunity knocks on 158.6 acres in Franklin County. Hi folks, Miles Marshall here for Marshall Land Brokers and Auctioneers. Get your offer in now on this well-located pivot irrigated farm with primarily class 1 and 2 rated soils located next to Highway 136, and yes, full possession is available. See details at marshallauction.com. Contact Luke Huddleston or myself. That's Marshall Land Brokers and Auctioneers of Kearney, your farm and ranch specialists.
A special committee meeting of the Board of Directors of the Central Nebraska Public Power and Irrigation District will be held Friday morning, February 24th, 9 o'clock at the Holdridge office. A current agenda is available at the office of the Assistant Secretary at 415 Lincoln Street in Holdridge. Again, a committee meeting of the Board of Directors of the Central Nebraska Public Power and Irrigation District will be held on Friday morning, February 24th at 9 o'clock at the Holdridge office.
Are you working an 8-to-5 job and find it difficult to make the time to care for you and your family's health? Kozak Community Medical Clinic is there for you with extended clinic hours. Mondays, they're open 8 until 6. Tuesday through Thursday, it's 7 to 6. Fridays, 7 to 5. And Saturdays, open 9 until noon. Don't wait on your health. Take advantage of extended hours at Kozak Community Health Clinic.
822 now at 880 KRVN. Clay Patton back with you. We're going to join the Rural Radio Network coming up here at 825 for the latest in ag news. And that ag news and opening market trade brought to you by Ag XL of Kearney. So a lot of great things just ahead as we look out to your central Nebraska forecast here for today. Though expect a turnaround from those cold temps we've seen over the last couple of days. We head back in with blue skies and sunshine. Highs are in the upper 30s to low 40s across much of the region. West to southwest winds 10, kicking up 15 to 20 this afternoon. For tonight, though, skies clear out. Lows dip down to the low to mid 20s. Southwest winds continuing 10 to 20. Gusting, though, at times around 25. For Saturday, we kick the weekend off partly cloudy. Highs, though, in the low to mid 40s. Southwest winds 10 to 15 by Sunday. Could be seeing mid to upper 40s, and by President's Day Monday, we could be in the 50s. Looks like maybe a cool down after that. Again, Ag XL of Kearney brings you ag news and markets here in 90 seconds.
At Security First Bank, our 125-year history is actually what moves us forward with innovations like Video Teller, allowing you to use live video technology to connect with a representative to make deposits, withdrawals, transfers, and loan payments all in real time. Do most of what you would normally do inside the bank, after hours, and on Saturdays, too. That's innovation with a personal touch. Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC.
Tune in during the month of February for True Blue Salutes. Hear from area FFAers and those from across the state about why they're involved in FFA and what's going on in their chapters. Reports are being brought to you by State Farm Insurance, Heidi Pizzata, Newcomb Diesel, Pony Express Chevrolet, Hosat Services, Agricultural Services Incorporated, and Heartland Chevrolet and Buick. So make sure to tune in Monday through Saturday for True Blue Salutes from the Rural Radio Network.
Ag Excel, your one-stop shop for precision liquid fertilizer placement, has everything you need to set up your implement for liquid fertilizer placement. Whether you're planting, drilling, side dressing, strip tilling, applying starter, 2x2, insecticide, fungicide, or even treating dry fertilizer, Ag Excel has a solution for your needs. Give them a call today to discuss your needs. Ag Excel, 877-218-1981, or visit their website at agexcel.com for a free quote.
With this check of agriculture news, I'm Alex Makovicka joining you. Good morning. The U.S. and the UK continue to explore the path towards a trade agreement, though there are still several obstacles that need to be addressed. Dave Salmonson is American Farm Bureau Federation's Senior Director of Government Affairs. He explains more.
Both the countries are engaging in something called dialogues, where they are exploring issues, trying to get better relationships. The U.S. and UK in agriculture have a pretty robust trade. Each country sends about $2 billion worth annually to the other, but it certainly is something that definitely can be improved.
He says the UK Secretary of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs called for a free trade agreement with the U.S. this week in Washington.
Farm Bureau certainly supports that. there's several barriers. The United Kingdom is still moving away from their time as being part of the European Union. Their regulatory system needs a push. They need to move closer to a science-based standard system that we have. They need to reduce their tariffs. They've signed trade agreements this past year with both Australia and New Zealand, where they're phasing out tariffs on food imports, and we need the same treatment.
Meanwhile, it's not the first time you've heard it, but Mexico issued a new decree regarding importing genetically modified corn, Salmonson says.
They want to phase out fairly quickly the imports of white corn from the U.S. and look to some point next year or beyond to phase down imports of yellow corn. None of this has any basis in science, so this is giving more impetus to the folks urging our trade representative's office just to bring a case under the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement against Mexico. Certainly, we think this is a very clear trade violation of that agreement.
And those comments again from Dave Salmonson with the American Farm Bureau. The Nebraska Soybean Board announced a truckside campaign yesterday promoting the use of biofuel in the state. They say the effort is aimed at raising awareness about a homegrown market and encouraging Nebraskans to ask for it and make the switch to a cleaner renewable fuel source. The Soybean Board said the campaign will run on select trucks traveling throughout Lincoln, Omaha, and alongside the interstate out to North Platte to share about the benefits of biodiesel. Biodiesel blends can be purchased at over 40 retail locations in Nebraska. It's also available for producers to have delivered on farm. Finally, many people received Valentine's Day gifts from loved ones, especially those fresh cuts and roses, but they die shortly after February 14th. What can you do? Kansas State University horticulture expert Ward Upham says that floral arrangements keep the vases filled or floral foam soaked with warm water. He says add fresh, warm water daily, and if the water turns cold, replace it immediately. He also suggests recutting loose stems by removing about 1 to 2 inches with a sharp knife underwater to allow the stem to draw water instead of air. From inside the Nebraska Soybean Board Studios, which is brought to you in part by Nebraska soybean farmers and their checkoff, I'm Alex Makovicka reporting with the latest in agriculture news on the Rural Radio Network. Maybe only an 8th grader, but a Nebraska FFA member is already receiving national support for her FFA project. Sarah Munt is a member of the Hershey FFA chapter. She was recently awarded a $1,000 national grant to help her expand her dog treat business called Sarah's Canine Kibbles. The business also doubles as her FFA supervised agricultural experience.
I had to do a SE project for my agriculture class. I didn't know what to do at first, so my mom just thought looking on Pinterest would help. And she said, you can make dog treats. And I thought that would be an amazing idea because I love dogs. And so I did all that. And my teacher said that it was one of the best projects he'd seen. And he thought that I should apply for a grant to see if I can expand my project further.
Since she's only an 8th grader, Sarah said her agriculture course was just for a quarter this year. But during that class, she said she learned a lot of skills.
When I was in there, I learned a lot about cooking, taking care of plants and crops, floriculture, veterinary science and animal science. And I also learned stuff such as like business and financing too.
And while she has a lot of time to think about what's ahead for her future,
depending on how far I want to go with my business, I would like to start out by selling my dog treats to like dog daycares, like even veterinary clinics or like training facilities. And my biggest goal is going to be Bumgars to try to sell to them.
We admire those big goals for an 8th grader. Sarah said she also plans to use the grant to purchase materials, create custom packaging, and add dog-friendly birthday cakes and holiday-themed packages to her product line. Donovan Phoenix is the ag instructor and FFA advisor at Hershey Public Schools, and Munt credit Phoenix for pushing her outside of her comfort zone to pursue her business. That grant was made possible by the
Morning, Clay Patton on the Rural Radio Network as we take a rundown of that opening commodity trade. Higher is the soybean trade in the overnight session, but the markets may be in for a reality check on Friday as we saw continued inflationary data out over much of the week, and it's weighing, at least on the outside equities, begin the trading day as we're seeing the NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow all open in the negative. Meanwhile, the U.S. dollar index garners more strength, trading well above the 104 mark. That's as traders move their assets back into safe havens like the dollar in cash, but they're also putting it over into U.S. bonds and treasuries. Right now, we see on the opening salvo, March corn opening 678.5, up 2 1/4. May corn 676 1/4, up 1 1/4, and July corn opens 664.5, up 1/2. March soybeans are 1528.5, up 2. May soybeans 1522.5, up 1 1/4. July soybeans 1513 3/4, up 3/4. We have March Chicago wheat open 765 1/4, up 1/4. May 776.5, up 1/4. July Chicago wheat 781.5, up 3/4. March Kansas City 902 3/4, up 4 1/4. May Kansas City 890 3/4, up 3 1/2. July KC 879, 4 1/4 higher. On the livestock side of the trade, despite strengthening cash and a strong carcass cutout, we're seeing February live cattle $162.77 unchanged. April live cattle at $164.20, up 12. June live cattle $59.75, up 2. April feeders $90.32, down 27. May feeder cattle $94.12, down 35, and August feeder cattle $207.32, down 52. We have June lean hogs 103.60, up 45. July lean hogs 105.22, up 37 or up 42, and the Dow opens 156 lower.
What has your talc graphite